que j'ai nommé.
Ouais.
Puis à une date antérieure, il va y avoir le petit rally, puis tout ça.
Puis il y a une autre affaire qui se travaille, hein.
Okay.
Mais ça, j'ai pas, c'est pas finalisé, là, mais on souhaite, faut aller voir certaines personnes, là, mais on souhaite qu'il va se vendre des espadrilles à l'école. C'est pas des vraies espadrilles, là, des espadrilles en papier.
Ouais.
Fait que les enfants vont pouvoir acheter une espadrille, disons, pour $1.
Okay.
Puis même les enfants peuvent contribuer à la recherche du diabète.
Oui.
Puis cet argent-là va aller à la recherche.
Fait que c'est une très bonne idée de... C'est Carole, tu sais, qui a décidé d'amener ça ici?
Oui, bien c'est Carole et sa fille.
OK. Ben, c'est une bonne initiative. Je pense que ça va marcher bien gros.
Bien, j'espère, parce que c'est une maladie qui est très commune. Ça touche presque tout le monde dans la communauté. Puis si c'est pas directement, on connaît quelqu'un qui en fait.
Oui, parce que j'en connais quelqu'un dans notre
facilement.
C'est facile de pouvoir associer à c'est quoi certains vivent
ça. Ça peut être le fun, tu sais. Ça va être une journée de plaisir.
Oui, tant qu'à moi, oui. Il me semble que je vois ça, que tout le monde, ça va être une chance des familles de se ramasser ensemble puis de faire de quoi de positif.
Ah non, j'étais pour dire, peut-être la première grosse activité avant l'été, hein? Du printemps, mais non, il y en a une autre avant ça.
OK. Ah ben, la deuxième, ça va être une qu'on va se rappeler longtemps, je suis certaine. Ça fait, est-ce qu'on a une idée de quand est-ce que ça va être, ces réunions-là, pour les leaders, ou si c'est vraiment à ce point-ci, le monde qui sont intéressés à la maison appelle toi-même ou Carole?
Oui, l'idéal, c'est qu'ils nous appellent.
OK.
Qu'ils nous appellent.
Est-ce qu'il y a une date limite là, pour commencer à appeler? Est-ce que vous voulez que les téléphones sonnent
plus vite possible?
Mercredi, quelqu'un y écoute et s'appelle?
Absolument. Probablement que la date du lancement va être attends une minute, là. La première semaine d'avril.
OK.
OK, ça donne à peu près 3 semaines, ça, là.
3 semaines et demie, oui.
Ouais. Mais c'est mieux si nous, on sait qui est intéressé à former des équipes. Parce qu'on va leur envoyer des invitations personnelles.
Ah! C'est très bien, ça va être le fun.
Oui. Je pense que ça va être une belle partie de plaisir.
Je vais oser dire que moi et Wayne, on va être là. Wayne pourrait filmer ou marcher, puis en tout cas, on va essayer de montrer ça au canal certain.
Ça serait bien le fun.
OK.
Oui.
Ben, merci.
Montrer les fruits.
Oui, mais c'est ça, montrer ce que ça a donné. Puis certains, peut-être, tu pourrais revenir ensuite puis parler du montant ramassé puis qu'est-ce qui s'est passé cette journée-là.
On peut faire revenir les enfants.
En plus, s'ils ont aimé leur journée. OK. Bien, merci, Louise. C'était une très, très, très bonne idée.
Ça me fait plaisir.
On va se voir, là.
On vous attend.
Oui, c'est ça. Le monde à la maison, là, comme Louise a dit, si vous écoutez l'émission, là, appelez. C'est le temps.
Puis je fais un appel. Je peux-tu faire un appel particulier?
Oui.
Je fais un appel, là, à ceux qui me connaissent puis qui sont touchés par le diabète. Alors, j'attends votre participation, soit en commanditant ou en marchant dans la marche.
Bon. L'invitation est lancée. Vous avez rien qu'à peine de participer. On sait qu'on est capable. Ça va être une très belle journée. Bon, donc c'est déjà tout pour l'émission, mais je crois que ça va avoir été une des émissions peut-être les plus importantes que je vais vous avoir montrées cette année. C'est un événement qui s'en vient qui, à long terme, va peut-être faire une différence dans la vie de plusieurs enfants et adultes qui, malheureusement, doivent vivre avec le diabète. Pour finir, par exemple, j'aurais 2-3 petits messages. Il y a un des membres du comité du CARM qui a été assez gentil de préparer une liste de tous les nouveaux postes que vous avez, soit si vous achetez les paquets de Fleximo, ou si vous avez gardé votre câble de base. Je suis certaine que vous fouillez encore pour les postes. C'est pas évident de s'habituer. Il nous a préparé, puis là, j'espère que je vais bien vous la montrer. Il nous a préparé une liste avec tous les canaux, autant pour le câble qu'avec les forfaits de Fleximo. Puis, qu'est-ce qu'on a besoin de savoir? C'est que si vous êtes intéressé de vous en procurer, ils peuvent être en vente pour 4 $. Puis, c'est pas beaucoup pour savoir où sont vos émissions favorites. Donc, contactez peut-être les membres du CARB ou moi-même. Puis, on va pouvoir vous dire si vous pouvez les acheter. Ensuite, au moment où on se pense, c'est fini, mais le lundi soir où j'enregistre, c'est la journée de la femme. Donc, j'aimerais ça dire à toutes les femmes, félicitations, bravo, j'espère que vous vous êtes dorlotées. Vous le méritez, c'est certain qu'on le sait, les femmes. Toutes les dames avec la caméra me font signe, oui. C'est le fun, mais c'est vrai, on le mérite, les femmes. À tous ceux que je connais, je vous dis félicitations, merci. Vous faites une différence dans la vie de tellement de personnes, c'est sûr et certain. Dernier petit message, c'est qu'au mois d'avril, plus précisément le 7 avril, vous allez pouvoir revoir moi et Lisa de Slice of Home avec une émission où vous allez avoir la chance de nous appeler parce que moi et Lisa, on va commencer une fois par mois une émission ensemble. Donc, ça ne sera pas sans cérémonie, ça ne sera pas Slice of Home, ça va être sans slice, qu'on a appelé ça jusqu'à date. Lisa, elle l'a dit hors caméra, mais c'est ça. Moi, puis Lisa, on en parle, puis on dit sans slice. Ça sera peut-être pas ça que ça va rester. Mais qu'est-ce qu'on veut savoir, c'est le 7 avril, on va vous donner la chance de nous appeler puis nous dire qu'est-ce que vous voulez voir. Est-ce que vous voulez que moi et Lisa, on fasse des recettes? Est-ce que vous voulez qu'on parle de livres, de vidéos? Est-ce que vous voulez qu'on aille prendre une marche, rencontrer quelqu'un? Est-ce que vous connaissez quelqu'un qui pourrait venir à notre émission? On veut vous donner une émission qui va être un peu différente du format de Sans cérémonie et Slice of Home. On veut vous montrer autre chose que les activités qui sont très, très importantes, mais on croit qu'on peut en faire plus pour vous. Donc, si vous restez à l'écoute le 7 avril, vous allez pouvoir nous appeler avec tous vos commentaires. Puis, bien, j'en ai dit beaucoup pour une fin, mais ça l'est la fin. À tout le monde, passez une très, très belle semaine et encore aux femmes. Félicitations, on est fortes. Puis, on continue. C'est pas parce que c'est la journée de la femme. On est spécial à tous les jours. Là-dessus, vous avez écouté Sans cérémonie avec moi, Nathalie, et puis mes deux beaux petits invités, Richard et Kevin. Je vous souhaite de passer une très, très belle semaine. Bye!
We're back again for another week, and as we promised you, our show is getting better and better on Channel 13. On the French side, Natalie did an interview with some young diabetes, and they showed on how their diabetes, how they check it, how many needles they've taken. Here with me tonight is Carol Turner, who in the same has a daughter, has diabetes. Unfortunately, Alicia is not with us tonight, but Carol is here to talk to us about, one, the diabetes, and two, a special event that's going to take place here in Temiskaming. So here with me tonight, hi Carol, how are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Good. Carol, unfortunately, your daughter was struck with diabetes when?
Actually, she was diagnosed on her 11th birthday.
Okay.
December 10th, 1996.
Okay, so she's, right now she's, how many years that she's into it?
Well, Alicia's 18 now, so it's been 7 years.
Okay, 7 years that she has diabetes.
Yep.
And how did it come about? How did they find out that she had diabetes?
Well, originally, Alicia had, she had a cold. It was almost like a running cold, basically, for 2-3 weeks. She had a swollen lymph node, and typically your antibodies should take care of any small infections in your body, but for some reason, and this is why we need a cure, we don't know why, her antibodies attacked her pancreas. And the weekend before her birthday, she was sleeping all weekend. She hardly ate. She drank a lot. And finally, the Monday, I brought her to the doctor, and we took a little urine sample, and they found a lot of glucose in her urine. So the next day, we went to see the specialist, Dr. Madden in North Bay, and he had diagnosed her with type 1 diabetes.
Type 1?
Type 1 juvenile diabetes, yeah.
How many types of diabetes are there?
Well, there's type 1, which is juvenile diabetes, or what they used to call juvenile diabetes. We have type 2 diabetes, and we also have gestational diabetes,
Okay.
Basically, a woman who is pregnant can have diabetes during her pregnancy. But with Alicia, her best way of explaining it to people is people with type 1 diabetes, their pancreas doesn't work anymore, doesn't give off any insulin whatsoever. With type 2 diabetes, you still produce insulin, but it kind of needs a kickstart with medication or with insulin pills. I'm not quite sure of the type of pills they are, but.
Wow. And when you first discovered that she had diabetes, was there any diabetes in your family, heredity?
No.
There was none.
That was the first thing that they asked us, and assuming that it's hereditary, but no, actually they're just trying to find out where it's coming from, but no. And ironically though, my mother-in-law, Tim's mother, Esther Turner, was diagnosed a month later with type 2 diabetes. So it was just a coincidence, basically.
Okay. And how is Alicia with this diabetes situation? How does she cope with it?
Very well, actually, considering. I don't know if I could do it myself, but she basically, after a week being in the hospital, Dr. Madden wouldn't let her out unless she gave her own needle. The day that when we left the hospital,
Okay.
she had finally given her dismissal. She had finally given herself a needle. So for about a week, Tim and I gave her needle for the first week, and on January 2nd, she started doing it all by herself, and she's been taking care of herself since.
But 11 years old, Natalie had some guests on that were quite young, 8 and 12 or 13. I mean, it's still young, and Alicia's 11. It's a big change for her.
Oh,
Her
yeah.
diet has to change. For her to give her own needles is one thing, but it's the overall adaptation of it. She coped with it well.
She did. I mean, obviously, she's like any other child. I mean, she's had spurts of problems with her diet. Around Christmas time is really hard for her because a lot of
Sweets.
actually more food, but yeah, there are the sweets, and she tends to go off. As far as her emotions, they take account into her daily
Her intake.
and
right.
depending on how her emotions are that day, and then of course she's female, so she has to work with all those hormones that we have, and that creates a problem also with managing her diabetes. But I mean, like I said, and overall she's done well. She hasn't been admitted into the hospital except for once. After she had her wisdom teeth pulled out, we were vacationing, and we had to stop at a local hospital in Renfrew because she started vomiting, and we couldn't keep her sugars high. We couldn't give her anything by mouth, and we were a little bit worried, so they were quite gracious, and they admitted her, gave her the medication she needed so that she could, settle her stomach, and we were back on track again.
Wow.
Yeah.
And how many times a day does Alicia pick herself to test her sugar?
Originally, it was 2 a day, and she was mixing her insulin like the other 2 young boys have been doing. She took it upon herself to, she wanted to have better control because she was still sliding everywhere in between 20s, between 15 and 20, and she just didn't like that. And of course, a normal range for your glucose level is between, they say, typically 4 and 10.
Okay.
We'd like to have a little tighter range, but I mean, reality sets in, and
As long as she's keeping everything under control
Yeah.
and maintaining for herself, that's the main thing. And you guys, you know to keep an eye on her too. So that helps out.
at 18, you can't
Kinda
really
makes it
keep
tough.
an eye on her. And she's in university this year. This is her first year of university, so the beginning was a little bit hard on us. I have no control over this disease. And as a parent, I mean, there's just no way that you can, there's no way that you can, there's nothing that you can do to help them. And that's, I think, is what the worst thing is for me as a parent. And I mean, all we can do is stand by her and let her support her. And let her know what is good and what is not good, and just follow her instincts too.
And doing that, Carol, guiding her through the right ways and wrong ways, giving her the moral support, being there for her, that alone says a lot. Unfortunately, as you said, we're fighting for a cure for it, and the cure will come, and all in good time, to help the young as well as the elderly out there with diabetes. But the main thing for you guys, I guess, is to give her the moral support and give her the proper guidance that she needs.
Right.
And that's going to make a difference.
Exactly. The only control I have over this disease is raising money to find a cure. That's the only thing that I have.
Speaking of raising money, okay, now this is going to be a big, exciting event here for Temiskaming.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's a first. This event that's going to take place is what exactly, Carol?
Well, actually, it's the Walk to Cure Diabetes. A year after Alicia was diagnosed, we had our first annual walk in North Bay.
Okay.
And since then, we've been walking in North Bay. And since the second year that we walked, Alicia told the organizers, I'm going to have a walk in Temiskaming. She says, everybody has supported me with all these different walks.
Right.
So she says, now it's my turn to show them and hopefully raise some money to show North Bay, Montreal,
We can do it.
Toronto, that we can raise just as much money as they can. Because face it, I mean, we have a big population here in Temiskaming with diabetes, and I think it's very important that we let everybody know, support them, and show them that we can raise some money to find a cure.
How many people approximately here in Temiskaming that you're aware of as diabetes?
Here in our community, we have about 150 people who have diabetes, whether it be type 2 and a few of type 1. We also have to look at the community of the Native community. They also have, there's about 50% of the Native community that has diabetes also. And with that, saying that, we have the 2 local First Nations that are on board to help us make this walk a successful event.
First Nations and Eagle
Village First Nations and Wolf Lake First Nations.
That's excellent. So you're going to have the support from everybody all around.
Yeah, definitely.
So let's get into this big walkathon. There's a lot of work involved.
Yes.
And people don't realize what is needed for it, because this is going to be a first.
It's a first.
I've walked myself for multiple sclerosis in North Bay. I've walked for other organizations, but it was always, you get there with your money, your sponsorship, that was it, it's done.
That's right.
People do not realize that here in Temiskaming, you're going to start from scratch, because we need to, when I say we, because I believe you have a lot of people involved with this.
We have a committee, yep.
A committee, and I mean, you're going to start from picking up registrations. They have to have sponsors. You have to have a group. They got to be walking. But how far are they going to be walking?
We've basically tried to clock it at 8 kilometers.
8-kilometer walk.
Alicia's wanted to start it at the 75th anniversary park. She thought it was, a nice local place, beautiful, very, very beautiful park.
Right.
And we can start from there and go through the center's parking lot onto the bike path, which makes it safer for our walkers.
Okay.
And so starting from the 75th, we're still haven't, exactly made the path itself, but once the snow melts, we'll be able to go and take a look and make sure exactly where we want to set things up.
Okay.
So we're going to start walking. It's actually the date of the walk is May the 30th.
Okay.
We're going to start walking at the 75th Park. Registration first between 8 and 10:30.
Okay.
The walk will start at 10:30. We're going to, like I said, we're going to start at the 75th. We're going to do the bicycle path and then come back. On the way, because we have a lot of people with diabetes, we need to have snacks and
Beverage.
juices or water along the way. So we're going to have a few checkpoints along the way. And of course, we're going to have little ones and older people too walking. So we're going to have porta potties, I guess you can call them, porta johns, along the way to make sure that, you know, we don't have little accidents on the way. Then on the way back, we'll come back and we're going to have lunch for all our walkers. And that has been graciously donated by our two bands. We have funds from them to help us fund this walk, which is excellent.
Okay.
You know, we were pretty excited. There's so many things going on that day. I can't even think of them.
Okay, well, you're going to have young kids, so you're going to have to do something with the young kids to maybe entertain them.
Yeah,
face paint them or something?
Yeah, Alicia wanted to have
Okay.
face painting. She's got a lot of good ideas, and depending on how many volunteers we have, and we'll go from there. But I have a pretty good committee helping us. So.
Oh, I'm sure. And you know what? Because this is a first, and like you said, there's so many people in Temiskaming that are diabetic. We're probably related to one of them one way or another,
Oh, I'm
you know.
sure, yeah.
And people are going to support. I have an aunt who's diabetic, and I know myself that I would like to get involved as a leader to pick up as big as a group I can to get them to
Yeah.
walk for my aunt, for Alicia, for the people that
That's
are
right.
diabetic.
Yeah.
We need a cure for these people.
Oh, definitely. And I think typically, I mean, if we had, I don't know, we have, say, approximately 13 members of our on our committee.
Okay.
And we thought, you know, if we could each get a hold of 10 walkers, I mean, a group of 10 is nothing.
Nothing.
And typically, you know, they raise at least a $75 pledges from other people. Our goal is to raise $10,000
Okay.
for Temiskaming, and I'm hoping we'll reach that.
Well, it's a first, so what we
Yeah.
have to do is work to build up that goal, and if we don't reach it, at least we can try for it for next year. You know,
Definitely.
this is something to aim for next year. We're gonna, if we can't get it, we're gonna better it. We're gonna
get it this
We're
year.
going to get
We're
it
gonna
for
get
sure.
it this year.
Now, is there, when I've walked in other walkathons, they've had, if you collected so much money, you had a chance to win a prize.
Yep.
Or they sold you a little shoe or something. Are you guys going to do something like that?
We have, for the walk, there's incentive prizes for all our walkers.
Okay.
And like I said, $75, you get a t-shirt automatically.
Okay.
Then depending on how much you raise, there's other prizes depending on how much you raise.
Right.
We also have a campaign, it's a running shoe campaign that we're hoping, we still haven't got it on board yet, but we're hoping to be able to sell running shoes in the local high school to actually let the younger kids, you know, participate in raising funds to find a cure. And basically what they do, it's a paper running shoe. They pay $1 to buy this running shoe, and they put their name on it to show everybody that, you know, they're implicated and they're supporting all these their friends from the school.
Which is a good thing. You know, some people can't get out there, Carol, and walk. Okay, there
True.
are some people that would really like to get out there, get involved, participate, but they can't.
Mm-hmm.
So their way of maybe participating or sponsoring is purchasing that shoe.
Yeah.
You know, you're set in the high schools, but maybe you could, you know, set it up so that it can go elsewhere.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
open
we
it
are
above
looking
and
at different venues, but hopefully that we'll
good.
be able to raise a
Kick
little
off.
bit. Yeah.
That's going to be excellent, and I'm sure Alicia must be thrilled that we're going to be starting one here in Temiskaming.
Oh, she's ecstatic. Right now she's a little bit flustered and frustrated because she's still away at school and she can't participate in all the meetings, but once she comes back, she'll be full force in
For
it.
sure.
But I did want to mention, though, we also have a kickoff for this walk. This is a
Okay.
little bit different from maybe some of the other walks that
Okay.
you've been involved in. Basically, what we're doing is we're having a kickoff to let everybody know, first of all and foremost, we have to educate a lot of people about diabetes. Second, we'd like to basically pick up or actually invite you personally, because you'd like to be a team captain, to this kickoff, to give you all your pledge forms for your team members, give you a little folder on ways to, little different steps on how to get some fundraising done. Who do you want to see? Who do you want to talk to? A list of your walkers, just to keep you a little bit organized and just to let everybody know that this is going to be a great time and a way of celebrating life.
What about a team? Do you guys have a special, something for if your team is raised the most money, or?
We do actually nationally. They have after all the walks. I mean, we have a walk in Montreal. There's a walk in Mattawa the weekend 2 weekends before us. There's
North
our walk
Bay.
here. There's North Bay, Sudbury. I mean, all around the areas, there's different walks. But after all the walks have been finished, they JDRF, Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation, sends out to all their walkers, because you get registered in the database for JDRF, and they send a newsletter. Then they go with the most
monies raised.
Most monies raised for a team. Most money raised as a walker. And actually, last year, Kevin was one of the biggest.
More sponsors.
More sponsors, yeah. So he's in that little newsletter.
For an 8-year-old.
For an 8-year-old, yeah. And a lot of people from Temiskaming helped him out, which was excellent.
Right.
And we've had a lot of support from this town, and I'm quite happy.
I agree with you. In our town, I say it, and I'm going to say it again and again. We are asking constantly for things, but it's always an end purpose for it, and this one is a very good cause. Yeah. As you said, 150 people that we know of in Temiskaming have diabetes, maybe 150 that are unknown, or
true.
more. We're a small town. The more we can pick up, the more we can support them, I think the better it is.
I just basically wanted to let you know, the people in our committee, just in case there's someone out there that wants to walk and they're not sure who to contact. Of course, you can contact myself. Another participant that everybody would know is Louise Rockburn. We also have Gaston Champoux from LD.
Okay.
We have Mary Isaac. She works at Tembec, and also her daughter. She's our liaison to the high school, so she's going to be doing a lot of work through the high school, which is quite excellent. Jocelyn Aubin. There's Lise Raymond from Kippwa, so if you know Lise, contact her. There's Lynn Clément. She's new to town, but she knows Alicia, and she wanted to help her in any way. We have Lynn Desjardins. She's going to help us. Michelle Franche. If you don't know Michelle, she works at the center. You can stop by and see her. We have Pascal Huard from, she's a nurse in Kippwa also. Right. We have René Lefebvre from LD. Sylvie Gauthier, Kevin's mom. And Sonia Young, she's our representative from the Wolf Lake First Nations. And she's already got a team. And she's ready to walk with us. I'm so happy.
Oh, that's good.
We also have Tina Chevrier from Eagle Village First Nations.
Okay.
And she's got volunteers for us, and she's got a team. And so we're just really, really excited to get this on its way. So many little things to think of, but I'm sure it's going to be fantastic.
I'm sure it will. It's going to go over really well.
We have one thing Alicia really, really wanted, and I keep saying Alicia wanted because, this... Basically, this is her dream, to show the people in Temiskaming what diabetes is all about.
Right.
I don't know. Well, excuse me, Richard Whistle.
Yes.
And his son Jake. A couple of years ago on the telethon, he sang this beautiful song called "It's a Great Day to Be Alive," and that is she's asked him personally to sing for us that day. So that is going to be our theme song for the walk. It's a great day to be alive.
Isn't that a wonderful thing? And what a nice gesture on behalf of Richard to come and offer to do that.
And it's going to be so much fun.
Get everybody crying on that.
Oh, I think so. I cry every day anyways.
No, but it's that's going to be a nice gesture from Richard's behalf, and it's going to kick it off in the right way, and I think that this will be the first annual community but more
mini
to
walk.
come. I think it's going to get bigger and better, Carol, every year. I'm sure it will. you know what I'd really like to do, when Alicia has a moment, I'd really like to have her come on and talk to us about how she feels, and maybe the after effects of the walkathon, to see how it went. And,
definitely. We have to let everybody know and thank everybody on what we've done.
I think it'll be a great gesture. I'm looking forward to it. So you'll have to call me, tell me when the first meeting is, because I think it's...
this Thursday.
Oh, okay.